This man lived in poverty and had no job, so he resorted to petty theft to get daily necessities. When passing a newsstand, he would bend down and take newspapers directly when the vendor wasn't looking. Since he had no money to pay the rent, he also bent down to avoid being spotted by the security guard. When shopping in the supermarket, he slipped a toothbrush from the shelf into a woman's handbag nearby, hid a toy in a stroller, and even took other goods and stuffed them into other customers' pockets. He even stuck a hairpin on the cashier's hairs. Later, the man hid the items he wanted to buy inside his clothes, only taking out a piece of gum to divert attention. When many customers were checking out and preparing to leave the supermarket, all the alarms went off. The cashier came over to check the machine, but also triggered the alarm. The staff thought the machine was malfunctioning, so they decided to let all customers leave the supermarket. In this way, the man only spent the money for a piece of gum and stole the items he needed for a week. The man went to a cafe. He took a sip of someone else's coffee while the person was in the bathroom, and even stole a piece of bread from a plate when the waiter passed by with food. In the evening, the man was moving things in the garage, holding a chainsaw in his hand. This frightened an old lady, who thought he was a chainsaw killer, and went to the police station to report the case. Coincidentally, there had been a dozen brutal serial cases in the city recently. The police chief watched the man's sneaky movements in the surveillance video, so he regarded the man as a suspect and launched a manhunt for him. The police chief sent a female police officer to approach the man and conduct an undercover investigation, but the man was unresponsive, and the operation made no progress. At this time, another case occurred. The man was mistakenly surrounded by the crowd as the murderer, so he had to hide in the home of a professor he knew. However, accidentally, the man found the victim's belongings in the professor's coat, and only then did he realize that the professor was the real serial killer. The female police officer, who arrived at the new crime scene, found new evidence, identified the professor, rushed to the professor's home quickly, and saved the man who was being pressed step by step by the professor in time, clearing the man of suspicion.